Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today I've got a Simon Says Stamp kit unboxing video plus 3 cards that I think are totally awesome. Toadally. That should give you a hint about what this kit is themed. It is frog themed. It is adorable, and I'm super excited to share these cards. They get a little intricate, but hopefully it will inspire you to try some of these techniques and to check out the kit. If you like timestamps to jump ahead, those are linked below. So stick around. My kit unboxing and the 3 card projects are coming up next. Welcome back to another Simon Says Stamp kit unboxing video. Shall we do it? I've already removed my label. I think that looks like a flying M. All right, let's take a look at this month's kit, which if you do not know, it is called Toadally T-O-A-D-A-L-L-Y, Toadally Unfrogettable. Thank you. Anyone who loves a good pun, we gotcha. I always save the box because you never know when you might need a box to spray into. But let's first take a look at the kit. First thing you're going to get is one of these awesome project pouches from Simon Says Stamp. They're great because you can keep your kit inside here. You can collect these over time as well and use them just to store supplies for ongoing projects. I think that is so cute. So you're going to get one of those. So let's open up the kit. And I have not seen anything in here, so this is a surprise to me. I will take out my little sample. Oh my goodness. Okay, slide it back down. Slide it back down. Too much to see. We have a little cute confetti set. Oh my goodness. How cute is that? Trinity Stamps Frog Embellishments. Is that what that is? Oh my goodness. Look, it matches my nails. We have a package of googly eyes. Googly eyes. If this doesn't take you back in a retro sort of fashion, well, I don't know what will. The all-important Lucky Charms Mini Pops Sucker. This is birthday cake. Thank you. I've got a couple envelopes in here to coordinate with my card projects. Oh, I love this stuff. Doris Strip Foam Adhesive. I actually have some of this in my stash because it is really great for lining up narrow things and popping them up. This is really good stuff. Love it, especially for sentiment strips. Okay. We have an embossing folder, and this is called Pinpoint Startlets. Okay, that's adorable. And I am now, well, I'm obsessed with embossing folders. So I can't wait to do something with this because this has been a whole new discovery for me, these 3D folders. Super fun. All right, let's look at before I show you I'm going to cover that up. We're going to cover up the stamps, and I'm going to show you the pattern paper. So this paper is from Photo Play, and let's take a look at the patterns that you get in your kit. All right, there's gonna be some frogs. So you have that paper. That's pretty cute. Cute little plaid pattern. Oop, cute little square patchwork. Let's see here. Little lemon gingham. And these are single-sided, so you don't have to worry about, wasting the other side. Ladybugs. Little blooms. Frogs. Hello, frog. That's super cute. Micro polka dots. Little floral pattern. This blue. Oh, and look at that cute diagonal. Oh, there's more. And, oh, a double frog. No, that's the same. Oh, so you get 2 frogs. That's great because if you're going in on the frog theme, you're going to need extras. Okay, let's take a look at the stamps before we go in on the stencil. Okay. Oh my gosh, these are adorable. You are totally awesome. Frogs, frogs and ladybugs, frogs, lily pads, frog, water, those things. The little waves. You are so riveting. I love a good pun. Happy birthday, unforgettable. You make me smile. You're totally unforgettable. And then you also have the little crown for your frog. That is adorable. It's 6 by 8. Lots of potential ideas with this. And look at what else there is. There is a stencil. Let's get my hands under that so you can see it. So you can also stencil in lily pads, greenery, lily pads. So you're looking at them from the side, you're looking at them straight down. I also think we could have some fun with masking with that. And then I also have a piece of, well, it's hard to see, little piece of acetate comes in this kit, which could be kind of fun for some shaker ideas. This is not heat resistant, so you cannot, stamp and heat on this or stamp and emboss on this, but you do get a piece of acetate. So if you've ever wanted to play and make shakers, we might be doing that. We might have to be doing that. So let's take a look at the cardstock that you get in the kit. We're going to get a sheet of 110-pound Neenah Solar White Classic Crest, which is really my go-to. A sheet of Simon 100-pound Lemon Chiffon. A sheet of Simon Says Stamp Soft Navy. And one sheet of Gamma Green, which this is a Neenah color in the Classic. So then you can see how these colors can play in with the cardstock. So I am excited to start brainstorming, and I am going to share some cards with you, and we're going to see what shakes out, because I think this is really fun to start out with something I have never used before. This is like the ultimate new stamps now what? You know what I'm saying? But we've got all this fun stuff, including, I wonder if the googly eyes will fit on these. I think they will. I am excited to start playing. So, shall we make some cards? I say, let's make some that are totally unforgettable. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you. The first thing I'm going to do for card 1 is cut out a panel of this super cute frog paper. I could hand cut it, but I never hand cut anything. And to that end, I'm taking one of my Simon Says Stamp sentiment labels so that I can cut this piece right in half for my card front. This design is going to be so simple, but I love this idea for any pattern paper. And what I'm going to do next is figure out the placement of where these two pieces are going to go. And that's the soft navy cardstock from the kit. Then I will line up Unforgettable right in between, pick it up with the Misty, and prepare to stamp. So I've got this still open, haven't even folded it down yet. I'm going to powder this up so that my embossing powder only sticks to where my clear embossing ink goes. The nice thing about the Misty too is you can hang an open card base out the top and it won't bend the paper at all. So I'll go ahead and stamp down Unforgettable, and there you go. It's so nice because you can see it on the dark cardstock. I'll take my white powder here and shake it on. And this is the Simon Fine Detail White. Tapping that off, putting a little more on for a really good coating, and again, tapping off. Now, I knew I was going to have to do a little cleanup work, and if you don't have a dedicated brush for this, it's a really great idea to have one, just to brush off powder from places that you don't want it to be. And then to get really picky, take a craft pick for those last little stubborn pieces. You scrape a little and blow, and they come right off. Now I've got my heat tool warmed up, and I will bring it to the paper and melt the powder. Heating up the back just to help straighten that paper out a little. I will set my tool down right on my PET, the Positively Everything tool, and there you go. I'll fold it down now and give it a nice press with my Teflon bone folder. And then I'll go ahead and just pop that inside a book to help flatten it out while I move on to the, well, it's not the sub-greeting, it's the super greeting. Is that the right term? Because it will be above Unforgettable. I thought You're Totally would work perfectly there. So stamping that down, again with the clear embossing ink, and then I'll sprinkle on more white powder, tap it off, and You're Totally is ready to go. I'll bring my heat tool and melt the powder. And again, I wanted to have that nice coordinating soft navy cardstock. I'll use one of my sentiment labels, the smallest one in the set, I believe, and go ahead and trim that down for the card. Next, I'll take my Simon Dot Runner, just coat the back here. Don't be shy with your adhesion, over adhese. It's never a bad idea. pressing that down, and then I'm flipping my card upside down because that helps me to visualize the bottom piece as well. How cute is that? You could do this with any pattern paper from the kit, right? You could mix and match. And I took one of those strips to pop up your Totally Unforgettable. To finish the card, I took some of the little pink flowers from the confetti pack. Boop. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's boop. And decided to sprinkle 5 across the space. Boop. So you can boop anything. I think you know that. Boop. And 5. Because 5 is a beautiful boop odd magic number. But isn't that a cute, simple design? Love it. All right. Let's move on to card 2. Now I'm using a little bit of masking paper. This is Masking Magic from Gina K Designs. And I'm going to create a mask. I'm getting a little, not out of my comfort zone with this card, but this is definitely taking my skills to the next level. This card has quite a few steps. First being, we got to stamp and cut out the mask. I'm not going to show you the whole process. I'm going to speed this up. And this is sped up, I believe, 8 times. So I am going extremely slow, right? But cutting masks, once you get the work done, you can technically use it again if you don't mess anything up too much. So cutting out the frog, right? Slowly moving the mask paper. And there you go. Mask is ready. Next, I'll stamp the frog onto a piece of the Neenah Solar White in the 110. I'm using the Intense Black ink from Simon Says Stamp because I might color. I wasn't sure yet at this point though, because I've been doing a lot of stamped images where I don't color them, but I thought the frog might need it. He might just need it, or she. But I'm stamping this twice, getting a nice inky impression. Then I will remove the backer off of the masking paper and just line that up carefully, starting with the trickiest part, which is his frog legs and his front legs, frog front, I'm not sure what they're called. Once it's lined up, just tap that into place, and that looks great. I used Memento Tuxedo Black for that just because I didn't want that to smear it all. And now I'm going to take the stencil, and you can see I've already been playing with this a ton, right? Because I kind of had to know what I was doing before I filmed. And I'm taping this into place. I'm also going to tape it off at the bottom just because I want to isolate that area. I should have taped off to the right, but you know what they say, live and learn. I've got some Jellybean ink here from Simon, and I love this color. It's a very bright, happy green. And I'm starting from the left and just sort of swiping across because that little indent to the lily pad is very delicate, and if you get too aggressive with your blending, you could go underneath it. Now I could have used some sort of spray like a pixie spray to hold it down, but I just thought I'll just be careful. And there you go. Next, I tried to cover up my mistake. I got a little ink off to the edge, so yeah, I just brought out the mono sand eraser and I figured who's gonna know? The next step, I wanted to create a mask of the lily pad as well. So I just used the stencil, got some masking paper, and just did that small little area, and then grabbed my scissors and cut that out. Took the backer off and placed that mask, right? I didn't have to cut off the top because that was just going into the frog's body. So quick time saver, pressed it down because I want to add water using the stencil. So I've got the little watery edge and I'm lining it up, taping that down with the same tape, right? You can reuse your tape a few times, but then I had to pick it up and kind of wiggle it a bit. Wanted to get it to be as straight as possible. Potching that down. And now I'll bring in sea glass. Now this is a very light color and it builds up beautifully. So when I first start, right, I'm going over the stencil and the mask. Again, being kind of careful where the lily pad, that little notch is, just because I didn't want to lift up that paper. But building this up slowly and adding my first layer of water. And when you pick it up, isn't that cute? My little layer. I thought, you know what, while we're at it, let's add another layer. So this time, coming in, same color, right? I'm not doing any sort of pick multiple colors and, do anything out of my comfort zone. Just sticking with the sea glass. And I figured while we're here, let's do third. So just some gentle blending onto the base of the card to give the froggy a little water to float on. Isn't that cute? I also thought, you know what, I'm just going to use the sea glass to create some clouds. Now I went a little lighter with this, but I will tell you, I was playing around with this and I tried to do lemon chiffon in the sky with clouds earlier. I didn't love how it turned out. And you know who else didn't love it? My husband. He walked by and he's like, no, it's not really working. Who doesn't love that input from the peanut gallery? Am I right, card making friends? Okay. But I thought that just some light suggestions of clouds above would look really cute. And I didn't get too, crazy. I didn't take different parts of the stencil. Just kind of kept going up with the same area and doing just a little tilt and offset. It's such a simple way to add a little sky, and you can keep it very light and soft. So that is exactly what I did. Sea glass is a great all-purpose color. Now we have sky and we have, well, it's not sea, I guess it's a pond, but you know what I'm doing here. I grabbed the little, is it cattails? Are they cattails? And I thought these would also look good in green. Now here's a little side note. You could actually do these in other colors as well, right? I was keeping my palette very simple. And in hindsight, I thought, well, you could have done them in like a light tan, but I didn't have any light tan ink that I thought would work, so we went with the green. And again, I'm stamping over the mask so that they will appear to be behind the frog. And then I thought, let's add a little color to the elements. And I don't think this is technically a Copic friendly ink. I don't know, this worked great. I just decided to do a light wash of the YG01 right on the image. And I think what it did was just kind of make it come alive a little bit. So don't be afraid to, color something in really quickly like that, because now look at this. When I peel off the mask, and it actually all came off in one piece, look at my frog. He just pops right out of the scene. I was pretty excited. I'm not going to lie. Mask reveals, always magic. Next, he needs a crown, or she needs a crown. I always think of frog prince, but maybe it's a frog princess. But either way, I'm going to stamp down a crown, and again, just using the Simon Intense Black because it's an alcohol-friendly ink. And then I'm going to color this in very, very simply. I've got a Y18, and then I thought I would also bring in Y08, although I don't know if you can really see the difference. I think you can once I start going back in with the Y18. Just wanted it to have a little dimension. I'm not really a master blender, so this for me, this is pretty good. That's about as good as it's going to get. And then I will cut that out with scissors. Framing out the frog panel, and I thought that crop looked nice, so I'll go ahead and run that through my die cut machine to get the panel. And now look at that. Frog's gonna have, isn't that cute? I think it's really cute. I'm gonna do a little test though. I sprinkled my powder onto my panel just to see if the ink was completely dry, and you can see where it kind of collects. It's a good idea if you've put a lot of work into something, just test it out, because I cannot tell you how many panels I have messed up because powder stuck everywhere, and I really, I didn't want that. I also had to color over the lower leaves, which if you look in an earlier scene, they didn't quite extend all the way to the lily pad. I kind of missed my stencil or my stamp alignment there. Just colored it in, and then while I was at it, I decided to add a little bit of depth to some of the other leaves. I lined up butterflies and the greeting, and now I'll take my embossing magic and just run it all over. I knew that the ink was dry, but this step is also really important. Got my clear embossing ink, inked up my stamps, and now I'm ready to stamp this down because I want to emboss this in a gold. I thought that would be really fun. Just a way to add a little warmth and shine to this card panel. I also removed the smaller stamp of the butterfly, replaced it, right? Picked that up again just so that I could have a great impression of that. And then I figured while I'm at it, I'm going to ink up the happy birthday again just for a perfect impression and stamp that down. All right. We are, see, there's a lot of steps to this. But I was on a vision. I was having a vision quest. I've grabbed some Simon Says Stamp Antique Gold powder. Love this powder. Sprinkling it on and adding the wonderful gold shine that will, well, it will make this card come alive. Tapping it off. And that looked really good. I've got my heat tool here, and I will melt the powder to reveal the warm shine of Happy Birthday and the 3 butterflies. And I like that, you know, the one butterfly overlaps the greenery, and yeah, I planned that. All right, that is looking great. But I felt it did need a little more. So I grabbed a few green markers. I don't have every marker under the sun. I do have quite a few. But as I was looking through my greens, I decided to pick these two, G20 and G40, just for sort of a neutral look. I also pulled up my computer and I looked up cartoon frogs, just so I had an idea of how to color. I don't have an innate sense of how to use these markers, which is why a lot of times I keep my coloring so simple. I will never become, well, I mean, never say never, but master alcohol marker blender probably is not going to be used along with my name, but I can keep it very simple like this. And I actually thought it turned out pretty well. I do love the RO1 for a little rosy cheek. And then I just used the YG0000 for a soft yellow belly, because that's what I saw in a cartoon. And you know what? I think that looks great. I'm popping this up right onto a lemon chiffon card base. That's the cardstock in the kit. And then I put the foam tape on the back of the crown and popping that right into place. And that's the finished card. So lots of steps, but wasn't that kind of fun? Like all the masking and the different layers. That's just one card. Love it. Moving on. For the third card, I cut down a panel of lemon chiffon cardstock, and then I grabbed one of my Simon circle dies. Just taped this into place and cut that out, because what I want to do here is make a shaker. I'm going to make a shaker card. And I thought that the embossing folder would be perfect to add some really cool detail to the panel. So I'll go ahead and run that through my Gemini Junior, and you can see it creates a beautiful texture. I'm also going to cut a panel of white cardstock, again the Neenah Solar White, that's just a little smaller to fit behind to be the back of the shaker. I cut a piece of acetate right into a square to fit behind that opening, adhered it with the score tape, right, so it's on there nicely and securely, and there's my shaker window. And that cardstock that I cut fits perfectly behind, and that's what I'm going to stamp on. So, getting the different frog, making sure that that frog placement is right where I want it. I love the frog with the ladybug. I think it's so stinking cute. Stamping that down, again using the Simon Intense Black because I'm going to color this as well. Giving that a double stamp for a nice inky impression. All right, and now we're ready to color. Now, you might notice on my Copics that I have, well, these are the sketch markers, but I have replaced my chisel nibs with the fine, I think it's called fine detail or extra fine, because I am not great with the brush tip. It is hard for me to get into small spaces, and I think that qualifies as a small space, right? This little tiny bug. Also, if your markers are ever flowing a little too, well, flowily, take both caps off, and it actually helps to equalize the flow of ink, because my little chisel nib was getting a little too flowy. So I popped off the other cap, and, well, as they say, the day was saved, because I was too far in to start over. You know? I think you know. All right. I love this color, is it E000 for faces. Great for faces, and again, take that RO1, and I do have a chisel on there, for little tiny rosy cheeks. The greens, same greens. I think I did this one a little differently though. I mean, I colored it basically the same, but starting with the G20, laying in that color. I think I felt confident after the first coloring success, so, you know, I don't reinvent the wheel very often, right? I might mix things up every now and then, but there have actually been times when I'm making cards that require coloring when I will go back and look at the videos I've done in the past and just use the same colors because, you know, I figured it out once. Why do it again? Coloring in his lovely frog feet. I guess those are his legs, right? But here I decided to try something a little bolder. So I wanted him to have a bit more color. So I laid down a little bit of Y11, and that actually looks really nice with the lemon chiffon cardstock. And I added just a little shading over there, the Y18. I started to blend it out, and I thought, you know what? You're probably good. Walk away. But that does look pretty good. I mean, I might have to take note on that one. Okay. Shaker ready. Image ready. Let's add googly eyes. I knew I wanted to add these because they fit perfectly over the frog's eyes. You just kind of wiggle them into place, kind of get them right where you want them. Because the eyes are so wide set, and I think the googly eyes are freaking adorable. I'm going to let that dry. And they're going to fit inside the shaker just fine because they're narrow. I'm going to cut a piece of foam tape just like this that's long enough to completely encircle that opening. And then you just fold it over on itself carefully and work your way down. And in this way, you have a very quick, instantly doubled up depth for a shaker. It works great, and it's very easy to manipulate, especially around a round or, you know, organic shape. It's very sticky, and the way I like to place it down is so that the folded edges that come together are facing the inside of the shaker because they're a little less sticky than the rounded edge on the outside, if that makes sense. But you just work your way around until you get it completely closed. I took the other piece here and just cut that so that the shaker would have support all the way around from top to bottom. And then I just pressed that right down into place after I trimmed off a little bit of the excess. Just like that. I separated out, I just wanted frog heads and green flowers to be in my shaker. So I just, you know, dumped it all out, thought that would look cute, got a little, you know, the right amount in there, and then took my colored panel, which is the back of the shaker, press that down gently, and there you go. There is your shaker. So the back provides, well, a home to hold everything in, and you can shake it till the cows come home. I'm adding liquid glue to that panel so that I can pop this down onto a white card base, the Neenah Solar White. Ah, I think that's so cute. And I'll put a brick on there just to really let that adhere. Off camera, I stamped and embossed "You Are So Riveting." And again, I'm just going to fussy cut it, right? And it's not hard. I think this, like, fussy cutting is one of those things where you think you can't do it, at least I certainly did, until last year I really started to get into it when I didn't have a coordinating die. And it's kind of relaxing, and it's really not that hard, right? You can pretty much cut out anything you can stamp. Just like that. And then here's a little tip for you. If you've been cutting and you bend and little ends get sort of, you know, not straight and flat, take a bone folder. The Teflon bone folder works great for this. Just press over the edge of where you've fussy cut, and it really does smooth it out. Take some of my foam tape strips here, and I will pop those on the back of the greeting. Oh, I think that's so cute. Take off the backers, and we will pop that down, and that is the third card. All right, I've done a lot. I'm going to have to go rest now because these are 3 cards that have a lot of techniques that I normally don't even, I don't try these things. And it was so fun to create these 3 cards. So if you love frogs, be sure to check out this kit from Simon Says Stamp, Toadally Unfrogettable. You can find all the links, including the link to the kit, directly below the video in the information box. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you back here with another card video soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much, and have a great day.